Good afternoon, everybody. The topic on which we are going to talk is five koshas, the fifth dimension of life. He was a small boy when he went to his master for the first time ever in his life, and he knocked the door, and master was inside his house only. When he knocked the door, master asked, "Who's there?" The boy didn't reply anything. He again knocked the door. Again master asked, "Who is there?" He didn't reply anything. He again knocked the door. Master again asked, "Who is there?" He didn't reply anything. Getting a bit irritated, master went up and opened the door. The moment master opened the door and he saw that boy there, master asked, "Why didn't you reply? I asked three times. Who is there?" That small boy, with modesty, he replied, "Master, this is the question which has brought me to you. Who am I?" And you were asking, "Who is there?" Who is there, you were asking, and I didn't have the answer of the question, and that is the question that brought me here. Who am I? Dear friends, the same question is the lingering question since ages and centuries. The question that many sages, seers, and saints have tried to answer. Swami Chinmayanand in USA, when he was addressing assembly, one of the participants asked a simple question that many of us must be having also. He said, "Master, I have gone through Gita 10 times in my life, but there is no change in my life. 10 times I have gone through Gita." Chinmayanandji very modestly said, "Dear friend, has Gita gone through your life even once? If even once Gita will go through your life will change. It doesn't matter how much you go through Gita. What matters is how many times Gita has gone through." It is actually at many times is not much important how much you value the master. More important is that you should master the values. The moment we start mastering the values, master itself gets valued. So the lingering question of ages that there are, who am I? I am trying to deal with the same question. It is identified that in Indian spiritual scriptures, they say that there are 5 layers of our existence. They call it 5 koshas. 5 layers of our existence. First layer is Annamaya, second is Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. We all know about it. Would like to deal with it. First kosha, they say Annamaya kosha, and they say there are various layers of our existence. Annamaya kosha, we eat food and this body is made up of that. Our flesh, our bones are made up of that, and that is our Annamaya kosha. So whenever you are looking at me, you are pondering on my features, my gesture, my body postures, my physique, it is you are looking at my Annamaya kosha. Whosoever we see around, basically we see his Annamaya kosha only. And this Annamaya kosha has been a prominent concern in the world. Even you see all advertisements in newspapers, in medias, everything is depicting and focusing on our Annamaya kosha, how to make this body beautiful. Everything is associated with this body only, which is only the first layer of our existence, says our literatures. You see, when you see a person and you like that person, basically you are liking his Annamaya kosha, and when two people like each other, seeing into their Annamaya koshas, they get married, and they finally realize that there are other layers of existence. And then you see there are many problems in married life because we liked each other's Annamaya kosha only. We liked each other's body only. We like each other's existence only. And our focus is on that. He was a small boy when he entered into Janak's Darbar. The moment he entered into Janak's Darbar, there was an Augustus assembly of all the intelligent and spiritual laureate people of those times. King Janak asked that small little boy, "For what purpose have you came into this assembly?" That boy said, "Sir, I want to participate in this Tattva Charcha, elementary knowledge discussion." The moment that small boy who had some distortion in his physique, His name was Astavakra. Eight joints of his bone was distorted. He had a distorted figure. He has got a distorted physique. So as soon as he said, I want to participate in this Augustus discussion on Tattva Charcha, all the people, all the Augustus members of the assembly started laughing at him. While they were laughing, Janak asked that boy, why do you think you are eligible for this? But suddenly that boy replied, I am sorry, sir. I am sorry, O mighty king, I am not interested in the discussion anymore. King said, are you afraid of their laughter? But the thing that little boy said really amazed the world. That boy replied that I am sorry, O mighty king, I am not interested in any discussion into the assembly of cobblers. The moment he said into the assembly of cobblers, King Janaka became furious and he said, oh little boy, explain or you will be cut into pieces. How did you insult? That boy replied, O mighty king, O Lord of the Lords, when I entered into this hall, I wanted to talk about Tattva Charcha, Atma Gyan we were supposed to talk about. But as soon as I entered, everybody laughed at me because they saw my age and my distorted figure. None of them realized that behind this Annamaya Kosha, behind this distorted, dysfunctional body, there is a straight soul that I also carry. My physique may be distorted, but my soul can never be distorted. So people who could not see my soul behind my physique, their focus is only on my skin. The person who focuses on money is a merchant. A person who focuses on Atma is Atmagyani, and a person who focuses on body. Person who focuses on his skin, if he is not a cobbler, then what should I call him? And because they focused on my skin only, that's why I called him cobbler, and I'm not interested in discussion with cobblers. King Janaka realized the essence of his talk. He left his chair and went into the feet of that small boy, and then it was the birth of Astavakra Mahagita. Annamaya Kosha, first kosha. Let's enter into another kosha. Second, this is Pranamaya Kosha. Whatever I eat becomes the energy in me, and that energy makes me moving. Every single breath I take in is the prana I am taking in and the prana I am taking out. Every moment I am living and every moment I am dying. That is Pranamaya Kosha. When we meet some people looking at Annamaya Kosha, we saw somebody's Annamaya Kosha, we liked him and we went to him. The moment we encounter him, we feel some negative vibes are coming out of him. We feel that something is wrong. I don't know. I haven't seen that person ever before, but yes, some vibes are not comfortable. What is that? That is his Pranamaya Kosha. The vibes that we encounter, we feel connected with somebody because of no reason. That is because of our Pranamaya Kosha, the energy that is dwelling in me. When the water is in a reservoir, we call it potential energy. When it falls, it becomes kinetic. On turbine, it becomes mechanical. When it moves, it is called electromagnetic. When it goes into wires, we call it electrical energy, and that comes into our hall, we call it electricity. And when the same is focusing upon me in the form of this light, while looking at me, do you realize the light is same the water? So much transformation of energy. That is the second point. Second layer that we carry is our Pranamaya Kosha. We all have those energies in us. A speaker was asked, what do you do to transform others whenever you speak? Speaker replied, like in a guitar, there are many strings. If I struck a single string, the vibration goes into another strings. Similarly, when I try to speak, I just struck my own string, my own energy, and the vibration reaches to other people. I don't try to do anything. I leave it to them only. I just transformation happens. Third important shell that we have. We call it Manomaya Kosha. Other than Pranamaya, Manomaya Kosha, the third layer and the most furious layer of all. Our desires, our emotions, which make us. But this Manomaya Kosha is a combination of three gunas. Guna guneshu vartante, Gita says. Three gunas. Three colors we have. Some of us have got Manomaya Kosha, which is prominently dominated by Sataguna, goodness. Some of them have got prominently dominated by Rajguna, passion, and some of them has dominated by Tamoguna, lethargy and inertia. But the strange thing is, they come in combinations. They don't come in isolation. Like for example, if a person who has got his man dominated by major two traits, one is Rajguna and second is Satguna, or rather let's take example of a person who has got basic dominated by Satguna. What he will do? His basic objective of living is to promote goodness, but he is dominated by Satguna. He has very less Rajguna. He will leave the society and go into the Himalayas to have sadhanas. But the moment with this Satguna, Rajguna also introduced, he has got a combination of maybe 40% both Rajguna and Satguna. Then what will he do? He'll leave Himalayas and he'll come back into the society like Arvind Kejriwal. With a right objective and passion, he'll do something. He won't leave the society.
2 minutes more.
Yes,
2 minutes more.
I'll complete. So the point is, the combination. And when instead of this Sat and Raj, if a new combination comes in Manomaya Kosha, that is Tamguna gets associated. So the association of Tamguna plus Rajguna, he will go into the business and earn for his own purpose. So that we enter into different professions depending on this Pranamaya Kosha. And finally, because I have less time, let's see into it from when we say Annamaya Kosha, it is only physical entity which does not have life in it. But then as soon as we introduce a prana into it, it can be compared as plants and tree. But the moment along with that mind also gets associated, we call it animal. Animal is an instinct which has got both prana and mind, but only human is there, which enters into the third phase. We call it Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha means intellect, ability to identify what is lesser and identify what is higher and discriminating them. When in the morning alarm rings, I always knew it that I need to get up, but I know what is right, but I don't have ability to choose the right. Duryodhana, just before Mahabharata battle, went to Krishna and said one thing in corner. He said, Krishna, let me be very clear with you. I know what is right. Krishna, I know what is right and I know what is wrong. I know this Mahabharata battle is wrong, but Krishna, I don't have ability to embrace what is right. That is Vijnanamaya Kosha. Having ability to embrace what is right. So having standard operating procedures in corporates, if we can enter into Vedantic operating procedures, certainly our life will be much, much better than what we have today. Last point is our Anandamaya Kosha that we see. Anandamaya Kosha is when your mind, your soul is in tranquility, certainly your thoughts become better. Thoughts becomes your emotions, that is your thoughts is your Vijnanamaya Kosha. Thoughts becomes emotions, that is Manomaya Kosha. Emotion becomes action, that is Annamaya Kosha. So everything starts with that bliss, that inner bliss, and that's why I call it is the fifth dimension. They say that basically there are three dimensions. You see a person, his figure and his whole physique. You like a person, three-dimensional you see, and finally the fourth dimension comes into life, that is time. You start hating the same person you used to love once upon a time. And that's why after a particular time, it is the fourth dimension, your opinion about the person changes, and that's why I say there is a fifth dimension. Fifth dimension is how do you see things, because it is said, देखता था इन निगाहों से हर एक जान तुझको. Wherever I used to see you only. देखता था इन निगाहों से हर एक जान तुझको, पर उन्हीं में तू निहा था, मुझे मालूम न था. The way you see the world, at times the scratch you see into the world is in your own eyes or your own speck. So this is the fifth dimension, and there are three illusions. These different, like I didn't mention about Vijnanamaya Kosha, ability to identify what is Shreya and what is Preya and then discriminating it. Look why I am talking about Vijnanamaya Kosha is, we all taught our children how to write for 10 years. We taught him how to speak for 20 years, more or less. Still people come to me how to speak. 30 years we teach our children how to write and how to speak. But research says that in our life we write not more than 6 months. In our life, we speak not more than 2 years. Then what happens about whole other life? They say that whole life we listen. 25 years in our life we listen and we were never taught how to listen, and that's why nobody is listening. See in the offices, junior will say, sir, boss sunte nahi hai. घर में wife will say, sir, ये सुनते नहीं है. Nobody is listening to anybody. Younger brother will tell to elder brother, कोई सुनता नहीं है, because nobody was taught how to listen. Teach children how to listen. The moment they'll understand how to listen, half of the problems will be gone. And that's why, because people are not listening to each other, we have paid listeners, we call them psychologists. They charge 1,000 rupees to listen to you without being judgmental. Then the last thing, I know I'm running short of time. Last thing is teach them how to think, and the most important thing. Because research says that 40 years of our life, we think. Every day we have 45,000 thoughts in our mind. Ability, that's why we feel tired even if we are at home. We didn't go to home, but don't go to work, but still we are tired. 45,000 thoughts we are processing in a single day. Teach him how to think. So many examples you'll see around, that she left me and that's why I am committing suicide. I lost my job, I am committing suicide. Why? Because nobody was taught how to think. Vigyan mein kosha. The moment we'll start thinking, we'll understand the science of it, life will become very beautiful. Thank you very much.